Yeah, so that first video was definitely not a one-time thing. And in this video, you might end up seeing more failed moms than what you saw in the last episode. And as long as pathetic moms keep appearing on the Steve Wilkos Show, I'ma keep doing videos about those pathetic moms on the Steve Wilkos Show. But without further ado, let's go. I swear, there needs to be a law that somebody needs to pass that states that you need to do a couple of decades behind bars if you accuse somebody of being a child molester. That and lying about getting raped to get somebody locked up, in my opinion, is just as bad as actually being a rapist. Now, this wicked fiend right here literally went out of her way and made up stories stating that the father of her daughter was a child molester. Now, I'ma just say it's no big surprise that she failed her lie detector test when she was asked if she coached her daughter to say that the father of her daughter was a child molester and if she made those stories up. Now, I could honestly tell that the accused father was innocent from Jump Street because he actually was crying. And normally on Steve Wilkos Show, when somebody's accused of something, they show zero empathy. There's no emotion, there's no tears. This man literally lost it. And I could honestly tell that he was innocent the second that I saw how much emotion he was actually showing. Now, to no big surprise, he passed his lie detector test when he was asked if he molested his daughter. It is very unfortunate to note that pathetic mom number 4 suffers from BBS. Bitter baby mama syndrome. Now, we all seen situations where relationships end, people normally move on, but there's usually always one person that was in the relationship that doesn't move on happily. And not moving on is exactly what this woman did. Man, I can't even think of a word to slander this woman with. Now, she created a bunch of fairy tale stories that the father of her daughter molested their daughter and even coached the little girl to say that. Hence the failure of her lie detector test. And she failed the lie detector test. Now, the father of her child, on the other hand, passed his lie detector test with flying colors. Things were smooth sailing for him. Now, I recall saying something similar in the last episode of the Pathetic Moms of Steve Wilkos Show, that you would be in the mindset that somebody would be happy that their child was never molested or touched or abused in any way. Not her. Now, the second that the father of her daughter passed his lie detector test, this woman dropped to the ground and started screaming like a banshee. Check it out. Now, you can decide for yourself in terms of deciding if she's a good actress or a bad one, but in my opinion, she's a terrible actress, because normally when somebody cries, there's tears physically coming out of their eyes. But she was just on the ground screaming like an idiot. Now, you could tell that all that hollering she was doing was because of the fact that she got exposed and looked like a moron on national TV. Because that's not the reaction somebody would have if it was confirmed that their child was never molested by their father. This episode was real sad for the simple fact that its main endeavor was to get to the bottom of how 2 babies drowned to death. Now, this woman right here was watching her grandchild and her own child, but decided to get drunk and never checked to see if the babies were safe. So based on the argument between this woman and the father of her child, they were able to leave the unsecured room that they were in and climbed into a swimming pool and drowned to death. Now, if you watch this episode, it's pretty obvious to tell that this woman was under the influence of something. And she just looked completely out of it. Like, she was slurring her words, her speech was slow and impeded, and she just looked like she just wasn't all the way there. Now, it's sad to say that every woman on this list failed as a parent, but she failed as a parent and a grandparent. Now, this episode made me sick to my stomach when I watched it. Now, it's already a hard enough pill to swallow when you know it's a million people in this world who prey on innocent children for their own sick and twisted fulfillment. Now, I went back and watched this episode a couple of times just to make sure that I wasn't crazy. Now, this woman took a lie detector test and shockingly enough, she admitted to everything. Now, she was asked if she had any knowledge or awareness that her fiance was sexually assaulting her daughter. Now, since this woman created opportunities for her fiance to sexually assault her child, in my book, she's a child molester too. Like, for real, the most messed up thing about this is that she allowed all of this to happen. She didn't seek no legal action. She didn't do anything. Now, we need to take this worthless excuse for a human and that worthless excuse for a human, throw him in a dungeon, and deadbolt the door shut. Similarly to pathetic mom number 4, this woman also confessed on her lie detector test. Now, she admitted to allowing her ex to hit her son hard enough to leave marks and bruises, but she lied when she was asked if she confined her son into a room against his will and allowed her ex to sexually assault her son. Now, me personally, I don't understand the point of confessing to some of the lie detector tests, but not all of it. Somebody please enlighten me on how that logic works. Now, it's almost like this failure of a mom and pathetic mom number 4 before are exactly the same person. It's crazy. Now, what really got me is when her true cowardice came out. When she ran backstage and tried to hide from Steve Wilkos and his camera crew. She ran into a dressing room and hid behind the door and threw a childish temper tantrum the whole time. Honestly, I don't even have any more words for this waste of skin. Now, it was really difficult making these videos because I really feel bad for the children who have to deal with the misfortune of having these pathetic women as moms. People, we gotta do whatever we can to raise awareness of abuse. Now, abuse may not ever be stopped, but it can be deterred. Now, everybody deserves to have a good life, especially children, because they didn't ask to be here. But that does it for this one, everybody. If you like this video, do me a favor and backhand slap that like button. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content. With that being said, I'm out. Y'all take it easy. Yes!